Om Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Ganganasadrisham Tattvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami.
Dear Seeker of Truth, welcome. This work that we are going to talk about is one of the most sacred dialogues because it happens between two enlightened beings. One is Ashtavakra, the other is King Janaka, which was Ashtavakara's disciple. So in it you will have a glimpse of the instruction of an enlightened being so that you can achieve liberation, and also the vision of how a liberated being stands, acts, what is his experience. So pay attention to these teachings, fill your heart with surrender, devotion, sacredness, because that is the way to enjoy it the most. May it blossom in your heart. May you also find liberation. Moving on into the second chapter, the joy of self-realization. So Janaka said, "Oh, I'm spotless, tranquil, pure consciousness, and beyond nature. All this time I have been merely duped by illusion." So after Ashtavakara's instruction, Janaka comes out with the experience of his own self-realization. And he starts acknowledging his nature. Of course, this takes a little bit of time, it's not instantaneous, so that self-realization becomes intelligible. So the recognition of his real nature, being spotless, tranquil, pure consciousness, and beyond nature, nothing to do with nature. All this time I have been merely duped by illusion, and even all this time doesn't have the same weight that it is imagined, because at this level there is no time, and even that burden of time that there was previously, even in that perception of time, it seems that this individual existence is something rather very new. It's like I've been awake all the time, and for a flash of a second, I fell asleep. And I fell asleep and I woke up immediately again, just a fraction of a second. And this is the equivalence to the existence of this individual self, as to what is normal, to what has always been there. Merely duped by illusion. Yes, that is very true. As I alone reveal this body, even so do I reveal this universe. Everything appears in me. Therefore, mine is all this universe, or verily, nothing is mine. So it becomes clear that not just this body, but all this universe is revealed by me, by the self, by the real identity. So everything which is there is mine, but at the same time, there's no mine, because only I exist. So there's only I, so nothing is me, is mine also. Oh, having renounced the universe together with the body, I now perceive the Supreme Self through the secret of wisdom. Well, and it is the secret of wisdom is this final revelation, because all wisdom points to this, but it doesn't touch this revelation. And at the same time, the correct definition of wisdom is that which comes forth with that revelation. So, having renounced the universe, and it's very important to keep attention to these verses, because everything which is being said in this way will be said in another way that appears to oppose this one, but it doesn't. Or having renounced the universe, which is the basis for the qualifications of a seeker of truth into the path of Advaita Vedanta, into the path of transcending illusion, because it doesn't matter which philosophy it is coming from, it has to go through these stages in one way or the other. Having renounced the universe together with the body, the fruits of it is wisdom, And the wisdom is to perceive the Supreme Self. Having renounced this, now I'm able to perceive the Supreme Self. As waves, foam, and bubbles are not different from water, so the universe emanating from the Self is not different from it. It is the same substance. There's no difference. It's just different names and different forms, but the same substance. Everything is just, the Self is just I. Pure identity. Pure consciousness, pure identity. As cloth, when analyzed, is found to be nothing but thread, so this universe, when analyzed, is nothing but the Self. So again, the direct perception of apparent existence, revealing with these analogies the substratum of these analogies. So when the cloth is analyzed, it's just nothing just but thread. And so everything else when analyzed is just the Self. There's nothing else apart from it. Just as sugar generated in sugarcane juice is wholly pervaded by that juice, so the universe produced in me is permeated by me through and through. Again, in a different way, the same vision, the same explanation of the same vision. Absolute existence, absolute identity, absolute consciousness. It's me. Identity is I or me. And it's all there is all along. So when we say permeated, it's just a figure of speech. Because it's just infinite waters of my own existence, of beingness. Just pure radiating light. Infinite. There's no universe, there's nothing of the sorts. But okay. It's just, everything is just an illustration. The world appears from ignorance of the Self and disappears with the knowledge of the Self. Just as the snake appears from the non-cognition of the rope and disappears with its recognition. So here we are. Like I was saying previously, it doesn't exist. Only the Self exists. Only I exist. only pure identity. And here it comes in the next verse. The world appears from ignorance of the self and disappears with the knowledge of the self, with the direct vision of the self. It's like that individual consciousness is just flooded, overwhelmed by the infinite identity, by the infinite existence. And the universe disappears. It's just pure identity. So disappears. It's an actual description. Light is my very nature. I am no other than light. There's just light. Brilliant, flashing light. Infinite light. And that is pure identity. When it means pure identity, it's not connected to forms, but the wholeness. What they mean like self-effulgent. It is this light which is being talked about. When the universe manifests itself, verily then it is I that shine. Now shine more, shine less, that could be a very interesting way of putting it. But let's not go into that. Because these are just different ways of putting this in perspective. Which of course these perspectives cannot touch this effulgent I. But is a way of sharing it, whatever that means. So light is my very nature, as I was describing. This ocean of infinite brilliant light, which is pure identity. So light is my very nature. It is I. I am no other than light, because light is identity. I am light. And it's not a light opposed to darkness. It's when the universe manifests itself, verily then it is I that shine, because there is only I am that light, and whatever comes, whatever appears to be is just that light that I am. So verily it is I that shine. Oh, the universe appears in me, conceived through ignorance, just as silver appears in the mother pearl, a snake in the rope, and water in the sunbeam. So, the universe appears in me, conceived through ignorance, like the silver appears on the mother pearl, and like the snake in the rope, it is through ignorance of my real nature, of my real brilliance. But it is I all along. Just as a jug dissolves into clay, a wave into water, or a bracelet into gold, so the universe which has emanated from me will dissolve into me again. Again, just a way of putting things, because there's just that infinite light, infinite identity. So whatever has apparently appeared will apparently disappear altogether. And whatever is there, if only I exists, it has come from me, and it will dissolve back into me again. Wonderful I am, adoration to myself, who know no decay and survive even in the destruction of the world. From Brahma, down to a clump of grass. So now he is bringing forth that overwhelmed experience of itself, who know no decay, well, not organic or something like that, and survive even the destruction of the world, of the universe, because it's just an appearance. Whatever appears and disappears, it's in me alone. But I'm beyond, before all of that. From Brahma down to a clump of grass. From the Creator down to the least of its creation. I survived the destruction of them all. Wonderful am I. Adoration to myself, who, though with the body, I am one, who neither go anywhere nor come from anywhere, but abide pervading the universe. Sorry. So again, wonderful am I. Adoration to myself, who, though with the body, apparently with the body, I am one, I am the one and only, who neither go anywhere nor come from anywhere. I am totality, but abide pervading the universe. I am that which pervades the universe, abides there, remains, pre-exists. Wonderful am I, adoration to myself. There is none so capable as I, when bearing the universe for all eternity without touching it with the body. Even though there apparently is a body, I am not that body. I am sustaining the whole creation throughout eternity without touching it with the body, like I'm sustaining not with the hands of the body. Wonderful I am, or wonderful am I, adoration to myself, who have nothing or all that is thought and spoken of. Again, I have nothing or all which is thought or spoken of. So everything, all existence, is all mine and none is mine, because it is I. Knowledge, knower, and the knowable, these three do not exist in reality. I am that stainless self in which this triad appears through ignorance. So again, just that infinite ocean of identity, of pure refulgent light, of fullness, brightness, only that exists. So knowledge, knower, and the knowable, these appear only through ignorance of my real self. Only like that they can appear and disappear and appear to be real, but none of that exists in reality. Oh, the root of misery is duality, yes. There is no other remedy for it except the realization that all objects of experience are unreal and that I am pure, one consciousness and bliss. So the root of misery is duality, because duality is illusion, is mistaken perception, diminished perception. And it is absence of oneness, absence of self-realization. That is, definition of duality. And there's no other remedy for it except the realization of oneness, that all objects of experience are unreal, imagination, a mirage, and that I am pure, one, I am oneness, the only one, consciousness and bliss. Joy of self-realization. We'll continue in the next one.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.